Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. What if I told you that everything you desire, wealth, happiness, fulfillment, is not out there waiting for you to chase it? Instead, it's waiting for you to become the kind of person who attracts it. Most people believe that success is about luck, connections, or being in the right place at the right time. But history proves otherwise. The greatest achievers weren't born with an advantage. They created their own opportunities by changing themselves first. You cannot control the economy, your background, or the setbacks life throws at you. But there is one thing you can control, and that is who you become. When you work on yourself, on your mindset, your skills, your habits, success follows naturally. It becomes a byproduct of your personal transformation. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who seems to attract success effortlessly? It's not because they're lucky. It's because they have developed the qualities that success is drawn to. The good news is, you can do the same. No matter where you are in life, you can start today. The next 90 days could be completely different from the last 90 days if you decide to change. Today, I'm going to give you 10 powerful principles that will help you transform your life and achieve the success you've always dreamed of. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I break down exactly what you need to do to stop chasing success and start attracting it. Let's dive in. Number 1, the power of change. Every great transformation begins with one realization. If you want your life to change, you must change first. Too often, people wait for external circumstances to shift before they take action. They wait for the economy to improve, for the right opportunity to come, or for someone else to open a door for them. But here's the truth. If you don't take control of your own growth, nothing will ever change. Look at Benjamin Franklin, one of the most accomplished figures in history. He wasn't born into wealth or privilege. In fact, he was the 15th of 17 children, had little formal education, and started as an apprentice in a printing shop. But instead of accepting a life of mediocrity, Franklin made a decision. He would change himself into a man of great influence and wisdom. But how did he do it? He did it by deliberate self-improvement. Franklin created a list of virtues he wanted to master, ranging from discipline to humility. He read relentlessly, practiced new skills, and worked on his mindset every single day. His dedication to changing himself led him to become an inventor, a statesman, a writer, and one of the founding fathers of the United States. His story proves one powerful truth. Your circumstances don't define your future, your personal growth does. Now think about your own life. What would happen if, for the next 90 days, you committed to personal growth like Franklin did? Imagine the possibilities. If you read one book a month, developed one new skill, or worked on your discipline every day, the results wouldn't just be small improvements, they would be life-changing. Most people resist change because it's uncomfortable. Growth means stepping outside of your comfort zone, facing your fears, and breaking old habits. But here's the secret. Nothing worthwhile happens inside the comfort zone. Everything you want, success, confidence, financial freedom, exists on the other side of change. So where do you begin? Start small. Pick one habit that will make you better, and do it consistently. Wake up earlier, start journaling, improve your communication skills. Whatever it is, commit to it. The person you become in the process is far more valuable than any external reward. Change isn't something that happens overnight, but it starts with a decision. Make that decision today, because when you change, everything else changes with you. Number 2, take full responsibility for your life. One of the biggest barriers to success is the habit of blaming external circumstances. Many people believe that their struggles are caused by bad luck, unfair situations, or people who didn't give them the opportunities they deserved. But the truth is, the moment you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility for your life, everything changes. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for things beyond your control. It means acknowledging that while you can't change the past, you have full control over your present and future. The job you have, the money you make, the shape you're in, the knowledge you possess, It's all a result of the choices you've made so far. And the good news, you can make new choices starting today. Consider the story of Theodore Roosevelt. As a child, he was born into privilege, but he was also born weak and sickly, suffering from chronic asthma. His parents could have pampered him, accepted his poor health, and allowed him to live a life of comfort. But Roosevelt himself refused to be a prisoner of his body. Instead of making excuses, he decided to take charge of his health. He took up a rigorous physical training regimen, lifted weights, rode horses, and even took up boxing. Over time, he transformed himself from a frail boy into one of the toughest and most energetic leaders in history. His refusal to let circumstances define him shaped the legacy he left behind. His story teaches us a crucial lesson. Life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to it. We all have challenges, some bigger than others. But the key difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is their attitude toward those challenges. The people who achieve great things aren't necessarily the ones with the easiest start. They're the ones who take responsibility for their growth, regardless of where they began. Now take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there areas where you've been making excuses? Have you ever said things like, I can't get ahead because the economy is bad. I can't start a business because I don't have the money. Or I can't improve my health because I don't have time to exercise. These might seem like valid reasons, but the truth is, there is always a way forward if you take responsibility and commit to change. For example, if you don't have money to start a business, you can start by learning skills, networking, and creating small side projects that eventually grow into something bigger. If you're struggling with your health, you can adjust your diet, find ways to be active, and educate yourself about fitness. The key is to stop focusing on what you can't do and start asking, what can I do right now? Taking responsibility also means accepting that no one is coming to save you. It's easy to wait for the perfect opportunity, a lucky break, or for someone else to change your circumstances. But the truth is, the people who succeed don't wait. They create their own opportunities. They don't sit around hoping someone will recognize their potential. They work every day to prove their worth. They don't complain about the system. They figure out how to win despite it. Look at some of the world's greatest achievers. Most of them didn't start with wealth, connections, or easy paths to success. Instead, they had determination, resilience, and a willingness to take ownership of their future. They didn't let failures define them. They used them as lessons to grow stronger. This applies to every area of life. If your relationships aren't fulfilling, don't blame your partner or friends. Ask yourself what you can do to improve them. If your career isn't advancing, don't complain about your boss. Work on improving your skills and becoming more valuable. If your finances are a mess, don't blame the economy. Start learning about money management and make better financial decisions. Taking full responsibility for your life is both liberating and challenging. It means there's no one to blame when things go wrong, but it also means you have the power to change everything. Your mindset, your habits, your skills, your income, and your entire future. The shift won't happen overnight, but it starts with a decision. No more excuses, no more waiting. From this moment on, I take full responsibility for my success. That's the mindset that separates those who achieve greatness from those who stay stuck. Which one will you choose? Number 3. Work harder on yourself than on your job. Most people believe that working hard at their job will eventually bring them success. They put in long hours, stay late, and take on extra tasks, believing that their dedication will be rewarded. While hard work is important, there is a bigger truth that many fail to realize. Your job will only take you as far as your skills and personal growth allow. If you want to rise above the average, you must start working harder on yourself than you do on your job. Consider the story of Dale Carnegie. He was not born into wealth or privilege. His early life was filled with struggles, and he worked as a salesman, barely making ends meet. But instead of staying stuck in the cycle of hard work with little progress, Carnegie made a critical decision. He would invest in himself. He dedicated himself to learning the art of communication, leadership, and public speaking. He read books, practiced speaking every chance he got, and studied the habits of successful people. Over time, this personal growth transformed him. He went from being a struggling salesman to becoming one of the most influential authors and speakers in history, writing books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, which continues to change lives today. Carnegie's story teaches us a crucial lesson. If you want more in life, you must become more. Success is not about working harder at your job. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts success. The world doesn't pay you for time. It pays you for the value you bring. And the only way to increase your value is to work on yourself. So what does working on yourself really mean? It means developing the skills, mindset, and habits that make you more valuable. It means reading books that expand your knowledge, learning new skills that make you indispensable, and developing emotional intelligence so you can navigate challenges with confidence. It means improving how you communicate, how you manage your time, and how you solve problems. These are the things that will make you stand out, no matter where you work or what industry you're in. Think about it. If you only work on your job, you might earn a living. But if you work on yourself, you can build a fortune. Your company may give you a small raise for extra effort. But if you develop new skills and become an expert in your field, you can multiply your income, attract bigger opportunities, and even start your own ventures. The secret is to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a leader. Take a look at successful people throughout history. They didn't just work harder, they worked smarter by investing in their own growth. Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men of his time, was obsessed with self-improvement and learning from great minds. Winston Churchill, known for his powerful speeches, practiced speaking daily and read constantly to refine his thoughts. These individuals didn't just focus on their jobs, they focused on who they were becoming. If you're not growing, you're stagnating. Many people spend years in the same job, at the same salary, with the same level of knowledge, wondering why nothing changes. The truth is, nothing changes because they haven't changed. If you want to break free from this cycle, you must make learning and self-improvement a daily habit. Start by dedicating at least 30 minutes a day to personal development. Read books on communication, leadership, financial intelligence, or any skill that can make you more valuable. Take online courses, attend seminars, and listen to podcasts that challenge you to think bigger. Surround yourself with people who inspire and push you to grow. One of the biggest myths about success is that it's about luck or being in the right place at the right time. But success is not about chance, it's about preparation. When you work on yourself, you prepare yourself for the opportunities that will come. And when they do, you'll be ready to seize them. The bottom line is this: your job will never make you rich, but your personal growth can. If you want to change your income, improve your relationships, and create a life of freedom, it all starts with who you become. So ask yourself, are you spending more time working on your job or on yourself? Because the answer to that question will determine your future. Number 4, don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Most people go through life hoping for fewer problems. They dream of a life where everything is easy, where obstacles don't exist, and where success comes without struggle. But that's not how life works. Problems will never go away. The only way to succeed is not by avoiding problems, but by becoming stronger, smarter, and more skilled at handling them. Look at Bruce Lee, a man who faced numerous obstacles throughout his life. As a young martial artist, he was constantly told that he would never succeed in Hollywood because of his ethnicity. Instead of complaining about the unfair system, he sharpened his skills, created his own unique style of martial arts, and became so good that he couldn't be ignored. He turned his obstacles into fuel, and as a result, he became a global icon. His philosophy was simple: do not pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Life will always test you, whether it's financial struggles, career setbacks, failed relationships, or unexpected challenges. These problems will never stop coming. But the real question is, are you equipped to handle them? Most people believe success is about avoiding difficulties. But in reality, success belongs to those who develop the skills needed to overcome them. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One person panics, gives up, and blames external circumstances. The other person stays calm, finds solutions, and pushes forward. What's the difference between them? Skills. The second person has spent time developing resilience, problem-solving abilities, and emotional intelligence. They don't just wish for a better life, they prepare for it. If you want to rise above your struggles, you need to stop hoping for easier circumstances and start investing in your personal growth. Instead of saying, "I wish making money was easier," say, "I will become better at creating opportunities and managing finances." Instead of saying, "I wish people treated me better," say, "I will improve my communication and leadership skills so I earn respect." Instead of saying, "I wish I had more time," say, "I will master time management and discipline." The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who have the fewest problems. They are the ones who develop the most skills. They understand that every problem is an opportunity for growth. The more skilled you become, the fewer problems will overwhelm you. And even when challenges arise, they will no longer feel like roadblocks. They will become stepping stones. Think about a young entrepreneur who starts a business. At first, they struggle to attract customers, manage finances, and grow their brand. If they don't develop the necessary skills, their business will fail. But if they learn marketing, negotiation, and leadership, they will eventually succeed. The same principle applies to every area of life: career, health, relationships, and personal development. Take another example, Michael Jordan. Early in his basketball career, he was cut from his high school team. Many would have taken that as a sign to quit. But instead of wishing for an easier path, he decided to become better. He trained harder than ever, developed new skills, and eventually became one of the greatest basketball players of all time. His success was not built on luck. It was built on constant improvement and the refusal to let problems defeat him. So ask yourself, what problems are holding you back right now? Are you struggling financially? Then develop financial literacy. Are you stuck in your career? Then work on leadership, networking, and learning new skills. Do you feel like you lack confidence? Then practice speaking, self-discipline, and personal growth. Every weakness you have can be turned into a strength if you are willing to work on it. Most people waste time complaining about their problems instead of doing something about them. But here's the truth. Success isn't about having fewer problems. It's about becoming a person who can handle any challenge life throws at you. The moment you stop running from difficulties and start preparing for them, your entire life will change. So stop wishing for an easy life. Instead, focus on becoming so strong and so skilled that no problem can stand in your way. Number 5, success is attracted, not chased. Many people spend their entire lives chasing success. They run after money, promotions, recognition, and opportunities, only to feel frustrated when nothing seems to work in their favor. The harder they chase, the more success seems to slip through their fingers. That's because success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the right kind of person. Consider the story of Henry Ford. He didn't chase wealth or fame. Instead, he focused on solving problems and bringing value to the world. Ford didn't invent the automobile, but he found a way to make it affordable and accessible to the person. His revolutionary idea of the assembly line made car production faster and cheaper, changing the entire industry. He became successful because he became valuable. Wealth and recognition naturally followed. This principle applies to every area of life. If you want a great career, don't just chase job titles, become the kind of person companies want to hire and promote. If you want financial success, don't chase money. Develop the skills, knowledge, and habits that attract wealth. If you want meaningful relationships, don't chase people. Become the kind of person others want to be around. The key is not to chase success, but to become a magnet for it. Think about the most successful people in any field. They don't waste time begging for opportunities. Instead, they build themselves up so much that opportunities come to them. The best athletes don't have to beg teams to sign them. Teams compete for them. The best entrepreneurs don't chase investors. Investors seek them out. The best artists don't chase audiences. Their work naturally attracts people. The problem with chasing is that it often comes from a place of desperation, and desperation repels success. Imagine two people going for a job interview. One is confident, skilled, and well prepared. The other is nervous, desperate, and willing to take any job they can get. Who do you think will get hired? Employers, like people, are drawn to confidence and competence, not desperation. So how do you attract success instead of chasing it? The answer is simple. Work on yourself. Develop your mindset. Master your craft. Build strong habits. And surround yourself with the right people. Instead of running after success, become so good that success has no choice but to come to you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that success is about luck or external factors. But true success starts internally. It's about the way you think, the habits you build, and the value you create. A person with the right mindset and skills will always find success, even in difficult times. On the other hand, someone with a weak mindset and no skills will struggle, no matter how lucky they get. Look at Coco Chanel, the fashion icon who built a global empire. She didn't come from wealth or privilege. She was an orphan who grew up in a convent, sewing clothes to make a living. But instead of chasing money, she focused on creating timeless fashion that women loved. She developed a deep understanding of style, worked tirelessly, and built a brand based on excellence, not desperation. As a result, success came to her. Her designs are still iconic today, decades after her passing. The same principle applies to your life. Instead of chasing success, ask yourself, how can I become more valuable? If you develop rare skills, if you improve your discipline, if you take control of your mindset, success will naturally come. Stop chasing and start becoming. Here's a simple way to test this concept. Think about the people you admire most. Are they constantly chasing things, or do they seem to attract success effortlessly? The answer is clear. They built themselves up so much that success became inevitable. So the next time you feel frustrated that things aren't working out, don't ask, why is success so hard to find? Instead, ask, how can I grow into the kind of person who attracts success? That's the real secret. The moment you stop running after success and start becoming someone success is drawn to, everything will change. The right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will come into your life. Not because you chase them, but because you earned them. Make the shift today. Stop chasing. Start attracting. Number 6. Your income reflects your philosophy, not the economy. Many people believe their financial situation is determined by external forces, the state of the economy, their employer, or government policies. While these factors do play a role, they are not the deciding factor. Your income is not controlled by the economy. It is controlled by your philosophy, your mindset, and your decisions. The way you think about money, work, and opportunities determines whether you struggle financially or build wealth. Take the story of Warren Buffett. He didn't inherit his wealth, nor did he rely on a booming economy to succeed. Instead, he built his fortune by developing the right financial philosophy. From a young age, he studied investing, focused on long-term value, and made intelligent decisions that compounded over time. While others panicked during economic downturns, Buffett saw opportunities. While others wasted money, he reinvested. His wealth was not the result of luck or external circumstances. It was a direct reflection of his financial philosophy. The same principle applies to you. If you want to improve your financial situation, don't wait for the economy to change. Change your mindset about money. Instead of seeing money as something that comes and goes randomly, start treating it as something that grows when managed wisely. Instead of thinking, I don't make enough money to save, start thinking, how can I manage my money better and increase my value in the marketplace? One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that working harder will automatically lead to more money. But look around. Many hardworking people are still struggling financially. That's because hard work alone is not enough. You must combine effort with the right financial strategies. A person who understands investing, financial discipline, and value creation will always make more than someone who just works hard without financial intelligence. Consider two people working the same job, earning the same salary. One spends everything they make, living paycheck to paycheck, never thinking about the future. The other saves a portion of their income, invests in learning new skills, and puts money into assets that generate more wealth. Fast forward 10 years, the first person is still struggling while the second person has built financial security. The difference wasn't the economy or their job, it was their philosophy. Another powerful example is Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men in history. He understood that wealth wasn't just about money. It was about knowledge and value. He spent his early years working low-wage jobs. But instead of just working for a paycheck, he focused on learning how business worked. He studied successful people, took smart risks, and eventually built a steel empire. His philosophy about wealth, investing in knowledge, creating value, and seizing opportunities, made him one of the richest men in the world. If you want to transform your financial life, start by transforming your mindset. Learn how money works. Understand the principles of saving, investing, and wealth creation. Surround yourself with people who have financial intelligence. Stop looking at money as something you earn and spend. Start looking at it as a tool for building freedom. Another important shift is to stop blaming external circumstances. Many people say, "I'm broke because the cost of living is too high," or "I can't make more because my boss won't give me a raise." These statements might feel true, but they keep you trapped in a powerless mindset. Instead, ask yourself, what skills can I develop to increase my income? What side business can I start? How can I manage my money better? The moment you take responsibility, you take control. Look at people who become wealthy, even in recessions. Some of the greatest businesses in history, like Disney and Microsoft, were founded during economic downturns. Why? Because their founders didn't let the economy dictate their success. They focused on value, innovation, and problem solving. The economy might fluctuate, but the demand for value never disappears. The final key is to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an investor. Employees trade time for money, but investors make money work for them. This doesn't mean you need millions to start investing. It means you need to develop a mindset of ownership. Invest in yourself, in skills, in networks, in opportunities that generate long-term success. Your income will always reflect your financial philosophy. If you believe money is hard to get, it will be. If you believe wealth is created through value and smart decisions, you'll find opportunities everywhere. The choice is yours. The economy doesn't decide your financial future, you do. Number 7, work on your fortune while earning a living. Most people go through life trading their time for money, believing that their job is the only way to make a living. They work hard, clock in and out, and hope for a raise or a promotion that might give them a slightly better lifestyle. But what if I told you that relying solely on a paycheck will never lead to financial freedom? If you want to build real wealth and security, you must learn to work on your fortune while earning a living. This is the strategy that separates those who struggle financially from those who achieve financial independence. Many of the wealthiest people in history didn't start with riches. They started by using their time wisely. They worked a job to pay the bills, but in their spare time they built something greater. Look at Ray Kroc, the man who turned McDonald's into a global empire. He didn't start as a millionaire. In fact, he was a struggling milkshake machine salesman, traveling from restaurant to restaurant, trying to make a living. But unlike most people who simply worked for a paycheck, Kroc saw an opportunity when he met the McDonald brothers. Instead of settling for small commissions, he worked on a bigger vision, creating a fast food franchise that would revolutionize the industry. He wasn't just working for a salary, he was working on his fortune. Today, McDonald's is one of the most successful businesses in history, and Kroc's decision to build something beyond a paycheck changed his life forever. This is the mindset shift you need to make. Don't just work for money. Work on something that can grow into an asset. If you're working a job right now, that's fine. But what are you doing outside of your job to create a better future? Are you developing a skill that can lead to higher income? Are you building a side business? Are you investing in something that can generate passive income? If you're only focused on surviving today, you'll never create the freedom you desire for tomorrow. The reality is, no job is ever truly secure. People who rely on a single paycheck put themselves at risk because they have no backup plan. One economic downturn, one layoff, or one company decision could wipe out years of financial stability. But those who work on their fortune, who build something of their own, are never completely dependent on a single source of income. Consider Harlan Sanders, better known as Colonel Sanders, of KFC. He didn't achieve massive success until his 60s. Before that, he had worked multiple jobs, from a steam engine stoker to a gas station manager. But what set him apart was that he never stopped working on something bigger. He developed his famous fried chicken recipe, and despite facing rejection after rejection, kept pushing forward until KFC became a global success. If he had only focused on earning a living, he would have retired, broke. But because he worked on his fortune, he built a lasting legacy. So how can you start working on your fortune? First, identify something that has long-term potential. This could be learning a new high-income skill, starting a small business, investing in assets like real estate or stocks, or creating a digital product. The key is to pick something that grows over time, something that even if you start small, has the potential to become bigger than your paycheck. Second, use your time wisely. Most people waste their evenings watching TV or scrolling through social media. If you dedicated just 1 hour a day to building your fortune, whether that's working on a business, learning new skills, or creating content, you would be miles ahead of most people within a year. Small efforts, consistently applied, lead to massive results. Third, don't wait for the perfect time. Many people delay their dreams saying, "I'll start when I have more money," or "I'll start when my job is less demanding." The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. If you wait, years will pass and nothing will change. The best time to start is now, even if it's just a small step. Finally, understand that working on your fortune requires patience. Unlike a job where you see immediate results in the form of a paycheck, building wealth takes time. It might take months or even years before you see significant growth. But those who stay committed will eventually create something that frees them from financial dependence. The goal is not to quit your job overnight. The goal is to build something on the side that over time can replace or even surpass your salary. That's how real financial freedom is created, not by working harder at your job, but by building something that works for you. If you keep doing what most people do, working only for a paycheck, you'll always live paycheck to paycheck. But if you take control, start investing in yourself, and work on your fortune while earning a living, you'll create a future where money is no longer a worry. So what are you working on? Are you just earning a living, or are you building something that will change your life? The choice is yours. Number 8, the power of knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of success. It is the fuel that powers great minds, the tool that turns ideas into reality, and the key that unlocks opportunities. Yet, most people stop learning after they finish school. They believe that education ends with a diploma, failing to realize that real success requires lifelong learning. If you want to achieve greatness, you must commit to continuous self-education through reading, listening, and observing. Look at Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors of all time. He had very little formal education, yet he revolutionized the world with his inventions. How? Because he was an obsessive learner. He read constantly, experimented relentlessly, and absorbed knowledge from every source available. He didn't wait for teachers or schools to guide him. He took responsibility for his own education. As a result, he became a pioneer in electricity, communication, and countless other fields. His story proves a simple truth. Your ability to learn determines your ability to succeed. Unfortunately, most people don't prioritize learning. They spend hours watching entertainment, but claim they don't have time to read a book. They listen to gossip instead of listening to valuable insights from successful people. They observe failures and repeat the same mistakes instead of learning from them. This is why they remain stuck while others rise above. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck. It's the knowledge they acquire and how they apply it. If you truly want to transform your life, make learning a daily habit. The easiest way to start is by reading. Every successful person in history has been a reader. Books contain the lessons, strategies, and experiences of the greatest minds who have ever lived. They allow you to learn in hours what took others years to figure out. If you want to become wealthy, read books on finance. If you want to be a leader, read books on leadership. If you want to master any skill, Read books written by experts. There is no excuse. There is a book on every subject waiting to be read. One of the greatest minds in finance, Benjamin Graham, became a mentor to Warren Buffett through his book, The Intelligent Investor. Buffett has often said that this book changed his life and shaped his investment philosophy. Now, imagine if Buffett had never picked up that book. Imagine if he had said, "I don't like reading," or "I'm too busy." His entire fortune might not exist. This is the power of books. They have the potential to change the direction of your life. But reading alone isn't enough. You must also listen. Pay attention to those who have already achieved what you want. The best way to accelerate your success is to learn from people who have been there before. Instead of figuring everything out through trial and error, listen to mentors, experts, and successful individuals. Today, with podcasts, audiobooks, and interviews available at your fingertips, you have access to the minds of billionaires, world-class athletes, and top business leaders. You can literally listen to success stories while driving, exercising, or doing daily chores. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate, became one of the richest men in history because he surrounded himself with knowledgeable people. He listened, learned, and applied their wisdom. He knew that no one succeeds alone and that the fastest way to grow is by absorbing knowledge from those who have already paved the way. The final key to lifelong learning is observation. Success leaves clues, and the world is full of lessons if you pay attention. Watch how successful people behave, how they think, how they solve problems. Observe their discipline, their mindset, their decision-making process. You can learn just as much from watching someone succeed as you can from watching someone fail. Take the example of Leonardo da Vinci. He was not just a painter, he was an inventor, scientist, and engineer. He spent countless hours observing the natural world, studying the flight of birds, the movement of water, and the mechanics of the human body. His ability to observe and learn from the world around him made him one of the most brilliant minds in history. His example proves that the answers to many of life's questions are right in front of us, if we are willing to pay attention. So how do you apply this principle in your own life? Start small. Read for at least 30 minutes every day. Listen to an educational podcast instead of music once in a while. Observe the habits of successful people and analyze what makes them different. Over time, these small habits will compound into massive results. Remember, knowledge alone is not enough. You must apply what you learn. Many people read books, attend seminars, and listen to motivational speeches, but they never take action. Don't just be a consumer of information, be a doer. Learn, apply, and grow. The world rewards those who know more and do more. If you commit to constant learning, you will always have an advantage. The more knowledge you acquire, the more opportunities you will attract. The more wisdom you gain, the more success will follow. So what are you doing today to expand your mind? Are you investing in your growth, or are you staying stagnant? Your future depends on your answer. Make learning a priority, and you'll never stop progressing. Number 9, take massive action. Don't wait, just start. Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment. They wait until they have more money, more time, or more confidence. They wait for the right opportunity, the right connections, or the right circumstances. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. The people who succeed are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who take massive action, even when they don't feel ready. Look at Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential figures in the world. She didn't start with a perfect situation. Born into poverty and facing hardships early in life, she had every reason to wait, to make excuses, to delay action. But instead of waiting, she took every opportunity that came her way. She worked in local radio, then television, constantly improving her skills. She didn't have a grand plan to become a media mogul. She simply took action every day, and those small steps led her to massive success. This is the reality of success. You don't need to have everything figured out, you just need to start. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Too many people overthink, analyze, and hesitate, only to realize years later that they are still in the same place. But those who take bold action even if it's imperfect, are the ones who move forward. Think about a rocket launching into space. It uses most of its fuel just to break through the Earth's atmosphere. But once it gets past that resistance, it moves effortlessly through space. The same principle applies to your life. The hardest part is getting started. Once you take that first step, every other step becomes easier. The problem is that most people let fear stop them. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person has failed more times than the average person has even tried. The difference is that they kept going. Look at Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper job because they said he lacked imagination. His first animation studio went bankrupt, but he didn't stop. He kept taking action, kept creating, kept innovating. Today, Disney is one of the most recognized brands in the world, all because one man refused to let failure stop him. If you want to achieve something great, you must be willing to take risks. You must be willing to step into the unknown and trust that you will figure things out along the way. Waiting until you feel ready is just another way of avoiding action. The truth is, you will never feel 100% ready. But if you start, you will learn, grow, and adapt. So what does taking massive action look like? It means not just talking about your goals, but actually working on them every day. If you want to start a business, stop planning endlessly, launch something, even if it's small. If you want to get in shape, stop researching the best workout, go for a run today. If you want to write a book, stop waiting for inspiration. Start writing, even if it's just one paragraph. Massive action also means doing more than what is expected. If most people take one step, take 10. If most people make one phone call, make 50. If most people practice a skill for an hour, practice for 5. The world rewards those who take action with intensity, not those who dabble. Consider Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group. He didn't wait for the perfect moment to start his businesses. He took risks, launched projects, and learned along the way. He didn't know everything about airlines before starting Virgin Atlantic. He didn't know everything about space travel before launching Virgin Galactic. But he took action, figured things out, and adjusted as he went. That's why he built an empire. The key is to stop waiting and start doing. The longer you wait, the more excuses you will find. The more you hesitate, the harder it will be to begin. But the moment you take that first step, you will realize that most of the obstacles were just in your mind. Think about where you were 5 years ago. If you had started taking massive action back then, imagine where you'd be today. Now think about 5 years from now. Do you want to look back with regret, wishing you had started, or do you want to look back knowing that you took bold steps and transformed your life? The decision is yours. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Take action today, and keep taking action every single day, because the only way to succeed is to start. Number 10. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Success isn't just about money, career achievements, or recognition. True success comes from balance. Taking care of your body, sharpening your mind, and nurturing your spirit. If you neglect one, it will eventually affect the others. Many people chase financial success but destroy their health in the process. Others achieve career milestones but feel empty inside because they ignored their inner well-being. If you want to build a life that is not only successful but fulfilling, you must take care of yourself in all aspects. Look at Mahatma Gandhi. He wasn't just a political leader, he was a man of discipline, self-control, and balance. He maintained a simple diet, practiced fasting, meditated daily, and kept his mind sharp with constant learning. Even when facing immense challenges, he remained mentally strong, physically resilient, and spiritually grounded. His ability to take care of his entire being gave him the power to lead millions without losing himself in the struggle. Taking care of your body is the foundation of success. Your energy, stamina, and overall health determine how well you can perform in every area of life. If you are constantly exhausted, sluggish, or sick, you won't have the strength to pursue your goals. No matter how intelligent or ambitious you are, You need a strong body to execute your plans. Simple habits like regular exercise, eating nutritious food, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep can transform your energy levels and help you operate at your best. The world's top performers, from athletes to business leaders, make physical fitness a priority because they understand its impact on productivity and longevity. But your body alone isn't enough. You must also sharpen your mind. A weak mind leads to doubt, fear, and poor decisions. If you don't train your mind, it will work against you instead of for you. One of the best ways to strengthen your mind is through lifelong learning. Read books, take courses, challenge your thinking, and expose yourself to new ideas. Learning keeps your brain sharp and adaptable, allowing you to solve problems, make smarter decisions, and stay ahead in life. Winston Churchill, one of the greatest leaders of the 20th century, was an example of lifelong learning. He wrote extensively, read hundreds of books, and was always open to new knowledge. His ability to think deeply and strategically helped him guide his nation through World War II. His mind was a weapon, sharpened through years of learning and reflection. Lastly, you must nurture your spirit. This doesn't necessarily mean religious belief. It means developing a sense of inner peace, purpose, and connection to something greater than yourself. Many people achieve external success but feel lost because they never took the time to connect with their inner self. Practicing gratitude, meditation, mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature can bring a sense of clarity and peace that fuels long-term fulfillment. Consider Leonardo da Vinci, a man of immense intellect and creativity. He wasn't just a scientist or an artist. He was deeply spiritual, observing nature with wonder and curiosity. His ability to balance logic with intuition, science with philosophy, and knowledge with spirituality allowed him to produce some of the greatest works in human history. His mind, body, and spirit worked in harmony, making him a true genius. If you want to build a life of true success, start by developing daily habits that nourish all three aspects of your being. Exercise regularly to maintain your physical health. Read and learn continuously to sharpen your mind. And practice self-reflection to nurture your spirit. A simple daily routine that includes movement, learning, and mindfulness can completely change the way you approach life. The modern world is filled with distractions and stress, pulling people away from their inner well-being. Social media, fast food, and constant busyness make it easy to neglect the things that truly matter. But the most successful and fulfilled people prioritize self-care because they know that their body, mind, and spirit are their greatest assets. So ask yourself, are you taking care of yourself, or are you running on empty? Are you just pushing forward, ignoring your health and well-being, or are you investing in yourself so you can perform at your best? Your body is the only one you will ever have. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Your spirit is what gives meaning to your journey. Take care of all three and you will not only succeed, you will thrive. Success is not a mystery. It is not reserved for the lucky few or those born into wealth. It is not something you chase. It is something you become. Everything we have discussed in this video boils down to one simple truth. Your success is a reflection of who you are. If you change yourself, your life will change. If you develop new skills, new habits, and a new mindset, success will naturally follow. The most successful people in history were not born with special advantages. They built themselves into the kind of people who attract opportunities. Think about where you are today. Are you happy with your progress? Have you been waiting for things to improve, hoping for better circumstances? Or are you ready to take control of your future? Because here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. It is up to you to take responsibility, take action, and commit to your own growth. You now have 10 powerful principles that can transform your life. Change yourself, and everything else will change. Take full responsibility for where you are. Work harder on yourself than on your job. Don't wish for fewer problems. Build more skills. Stop chasing success. Become a magnet for it. Your income is a reflection of your philosophy. Work on your fortune while earning a living. The power of knowledge. Read, listen, and observe. Take massive action. Don't wait. Just start. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Each of these principles is a stepping stone to success. But knowledge alone is useless unless you act on it. The difference between successful people and everyone else is not what they know, it's what they do. So ask yourself, what will you do today? Will you keep waiting for the perfect time, or will you start now? Success does not happen overnight, but it happens daily, through consistent effort and self-improvement. The decision is yours. You have everything you need to succeed. Now it's time to take action.